Windows 11 is officially slowing down the performance of your PC once again. This time, an update that was supposed to fix slower performance of SSDs introduced a whole nother issue, slowing them down even more. And if your SSD or hard drive is working slower, pretty much everything else will as well, such as opening apps, loading into games, and even booting into Windows itself. But luckily, you can still follow this channel without any issues, so you should be okay. And if you are having issues with the newest update that has the catchy name of KB5023706, then you can just downgrade and the issue will be resolved. So good job, Microsoft, in continuing your streak of fixing an issue and introducing another one while doing so. Let me know what you think about Windows these days in the comments. No, like, seriously, let me know. Like, I'm actually really interested because over the past year, I've received more and more frustrated comments about Windows as sort of the updates come out, because everything is still just receiving so many bugs out of nowhere. Microsoft is still fixing all these issues all the time and just introducing new ones all the time as well. Because at this rate, the thing is, people can only take so much, even if there's just no other choice, even though there is, of course, there's Linux. But I mean, it's a big move for anyone to go from Windows to Linux if they're not a computer person, because things are different, software is different. So it's just some extra work. But at this point, with Microsoft being just like so absolutely incompetent, I mean, they've got a lot of money. Microsoft, one of the most valuable companies in the world. They have tons of money. They could just throw money at this issue and just get thousands of beta testers to work for them, and just like they could really clean everything up if they wanted. But at this point, it really just seems that at some point it's not going to be Mac OS and Windows and then Linux, but it might just be Mac OS and Linux, and some people that are still using Windows, because Linux is also getting more and more adoption thanks to devices like the Steam Deck that are running Linux essentially, and the emulators and stuff like that. So emulating software is becoming much easier, much more seamless. So eventually, if people massively start switching to Linux, all of a sudden, Windows just could be forgotten. While macOS will also always be there just because it's Apple. Apple is the luxury brand. A lot of people just like Apple and their ecosystem, which they just lock you into. But a lot of people are just okay with that. Someone like me, I need my own computer. I want to build it myself. I want to choose the components myself. I want to take care of it myself, which Apple doesn't really allow you to do. Funny thing is, they're also pretty mad right now because it seems like they won't be able to pull their cable certification scam because of Europe's Type-C regulations, which is pretty funny. But yeah, anyways, just another fail from Microsoft. It's nothing new. There's nothing new to say. They've been doing this for a year. They care, I guess, but they don't really do anything about it at any point. So each time I just point out the issue, make a little bit fun of them because they got all this money and they're just so incompetent. And I mean, Windows was good in the past, and now they're just adding more and more spyware and useless features that break everything else. Yeah, once again, Microsoft messed up. Linux probably gained a few extra users, and who knows, maybe in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 100 million years, however long it takes. I mean, at this rate, eventually Linux is gonna take over the Windows market share, and that's gonna be interesting. But like I said, let me know what you think about the current status of Windows, because I'm very interested, because people seem to be getting fed up more and more, like actually fed up to the point where they're considering switching to a whole different OS and just reinstalling and relearning everything.